Hey girlies, it's Yuri, and last night I was reminded of something that happened to me a couple of years ago, which do you think I'd get over after all these years, but I haven't. Side note, this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, so like don't read too much into it, but this person made an animation meme with my OC Alex, and it looks amazing, so you should totally go show them some love because I've never, ever received something like this before. Anyways, I don't do art trades, mainly because the 3 times that I did do it, I only received one back. And I get it. Life gets hard, things happen, but you could have at least sent a text saying something like, I don't know, my house blew up and I can't do it. 9 times out of 10, I'll just finish my side of the trade and give it to you just because, I want to be done. This is my first personal interaction with the art community because usually I stay away. I'm like an outsider that posts and then, likes comments, but I don't really interact unless... Anyways, the first time, I was hesitant to even ask anyone because I didn't have any artist friends and I got too nervous to ask any mutuals that I had. But one day on TikTok, it's an old account, so it's privated, asking if I wanted to do an art trade, and I happily accepted. I knew how I was about doing tasks, so I forced myself to prioritize this, so I wouldn't be the one holding out. And after I was done, I was quite proud of myself. It was definitely a milestone in my art journey, so I sent it to them. And they said it looked great. And then I waited, and weeks turned to months, and boom, ghosted. To be fair, I should have asked something, should have asked questions, said something, but I didn't want to trouble them. I didn't want to make them feel rushed, so I just didn't say anything. But that was my first interaction with someone like that. Yeah, I was angry, but I didn't say anything and I moved on. And by then I had grown in followers. I was big enough to have a sizable Discord because in my past life I was really famous. By then I was on talking bases with a couple of artists and it was nice. We shared OC lore, we talked to each other, we were kind of friends. And then art trade came up and I said, you know what, let's do it. I mean, we're in the same Discord server, I finished it. It's looking scrumptious. I posted it too. I sent it, and can you guess what happened? You already know what happened. It was another one-sided art trade. Literally wanted to cry. And I don't even remember how the conversation with. And I don't even want to think about it ever again. It was so... Never mind. Actually, never mind. I did such a good job on that art piece. I prioritized them. I held off doing my comic that I was doing at the time to get this done because I didn't want to be the one holding out because I don't like to have outstanding debt or something. I don't want to have to owe someone something, so I went ahead and did it. And it's so frustrating when you try so hard to, just do the right thing and not have to, I don't know. It was frustrating and it was aggravating. But I stopped talking to them. And I should have said something. Again, I didn't say anything, but I should have said something. But I didn't want to start anything. Not confrontational. But by this time, I swore off doing art trades. I'd never do an art trade again. But then I did it again. It was good. This person, they drew my OC Delilah, and I may or may not show it. I have to ask them, but they did such an amazing job, and it was a breath of fresh air. And you know what? I love them. I appreciate them so much because I can't. I mean, this is also why I don't like. I'm scared to do art fight because like the fact that you have to. It's a back and forth thing, and I don't want to be caught looking stupid. Also, I don't want to waste anyone's time because if I get irritated and start not liking my own art, it's like, what are we doing? Probably not gonna do an art fight ever. It's a lot, but in general, unless I personally know you, I won't do another art trade. It's my time wasted and it's free art, and like nowadays they could easily take my art and put it into like an AI slot machine and pretend like they didn't just smooth talk free art out of me. I know I should have said something. I should have, but like I didn't want to be that person. I don't have a Discord server anymore, and I don't plan on making one anytime soon. And I don't really want to interact with this community outside of the little space that I've made for myself because it's rough out there. It's real rough out there. But yeah, that's my short little story time. You know, I can barely remember the details of some of these conversations, but I guess this really keeps me awake at night, and I think talking about it might help me sleep. Anyways, have a nice day. Goodbye.